4 is officially dead, and the internet seems to be a bit mixed as to if this is a good story or a bad story.
This generation is absolute trash. You're trying to tell me after 12 years, the PS5 still hasn't provided their consumer base with anything? I mean, you have to ask yourself, man, even when the PS4 and the Xbox One came out, they still had offerings that you weren't getting on Xbox 360 and PS3. But you fast forward to the PS4, and 12 years from now, we still playing PlayStation 4 level and style of games. Even though you people pay $500 for this quote-unquote next generation platform upgrade, you still are playing the same PlayStation 4 games.
I have seen a lot of people sort of celebrating this, saying, good, it's been 12 years since the original PlayStation 4 came out. Why are we still supporting this? I'm tired of cross-gen trash. But I'm also seeing the other side of the coin. A lot of people are basically saying they don't like the idea that their console can essentially be killed via remote connection because...
Oh, but I thought the PS4 was a DRM. I thought that Sony couldn't do that. I thought we owned our physical media, right?
Right now, it is weird to consider the fact that back in the day, consoles really did live forever. Like, you could get a PlayStation and just play it for eternity.
Oh, no, it didn't. Because the PS1, you had to put that upside down just so you can get the CD to work. What are you talking about, bro? Like I said, I own a lot of retro gaming consoles, but they're also prone to breaking. Matter of fact, a lot of retro games have this thing called disc rot, which actually impacts a lot of its CD games, especially with the technology that they used back then. So I wouldn't go as far to say that it's a better quality. I mean, if you take care of it properly, then yes, but even then, you still can't escape disc rot.
Because the disc wasn't scratched and the little optical drive didn't get burnt out, you had a good memory card, you could just play forever, right? But in this current sense, it's weird to consider the fact that games require an internet connection, not just for the downloads, not just for the installs, but a lot of times...
I thought that was just Airbox.
The biggest games on every platform are live service games. Fortnite and Genshin Impact and Final Fantasy XIV.
Oh, because according to you, they were exclusives. Now all of a sudden, it's third party. GameStop with another W.
And Call of Duty Warzone are massive juggernauts. They not just make hundreds of millions of dollars, but billions of dollars every single year.
But you told people that Call of Duty failed because it was on Game Pass just for you to say that the game is a success. What are you talking about, bruh?
So the fact that these companies are beginning to officially announce that they are stopping support for the PlayStation 4. They're abandoning it. And a lot of people are sort of just reflecting on the fact that major online live service titles are looking into timelines to pull the plug on their support for the PlayStation 4. The outlets attribute this to two main things, which we all know are technical limitations. The other reason for publishers dropping PS4 support is the install base of the PS5 is finally reached the desirable state. Our graphics are so good, our power pushing, our new updates are so fantastic, it simply can't work on the PlayStation 5.
Oh no, that's an excuse. I'm going to tell y'all right now, that's an excuse for Sony to incentivize people to pick up the PlayStation 5 platform. That's all it is, man. Because they ain't no demanding games that the PS5 is pushing out, man. Matter of fact, like you said, a lot of it happens to be cross-generation titles. Games that were made specifically for that hardware. Matter of fact, Genshin Impact runs on most people's phones. But yet, this is the type of excuse that we're seeing now from Sony?
Now, a lot of people are basically saying this is a lie. They're saying it doesn't work on the PlayStation 4, it only works on the PlayStation 5. A lot of people are like, okay, but the game runs on a phone. Like, these games run on a phone, so I truly do. The people complaining about this, I understand it. I have to say that the reason I feel mixed about this is that a lot of people I know are just dead-ass broke.
Keyword, the people that you know. Now, the people that I know just don't really care for this, and a lot of them play on next-generation, current-gen platforms. And to be honest with you, a lot of them are disappointed with it, bro. I mean, this is PlayStation's way to say, hey, we've supported this platform long enough. We want to push, more of a user base with the PS5 in favor of the PlayStation 6 coming out around the corner. Why not do these things now? You know what I mean? 12 years, guys, and we're still playing PS4 level centric games. Like, that is crazy to me, man. And that's why you have gamers like myself telling you that this was a very disappointing generation. I'm sorry, man. There was really not that many games. I mean, I can barely name 20 games from PS5 to Xbox Series X that were actually amazing. I mean, incredible. We're still waiting for Gears E Day. You get what I'm saying? We're still waiting for these. I mean, Intergalactic for some people. We're still waiting for these big games. And we're like 5 years in this into this generation, and we still haven't seen anything. This to me is the most underwhelming generation that I've ever experienced throughout my 30 years of gaming.
I mean, just straight up broke. I do think a real reason that the live service games have been so popular, free-to-play games have been so popular, is because people are just broke.
Because more people spend more money on those free-to-plays than they would have went out there. What are you talking about? There's people spending more money on Roblox than they would if they just bought 100 video games. I'm being serious. There's people that spend thousands amongst thousands of dollars buying Fortnite skins and dance moves than if they just spent $1,000 of that money buying video games for themselves. You do understand that. Matter of fact, they spend more money on free-to-plays than if they actually made the game where they charge you 60 to 70 bucks. That is facts. So for you to go as far to say it's because they're broke, what are you talking about? They could have had a whole game collection with how much money they spent on Fortnite skins. You don't know what you're talking about.
And I think this is a way to play stuff. You work your long-ass shift, you go home, you got $12 in your pocket, you want to buy some crappy fast food or something like that, and you want to sit down and play a game. You don't want a $70 price tag. I understand that. I like to buy games myself.
Oh, really? But yet you didn't understand that when Xbox and PC gamers had the benefit of Game Pass. Now all of a sudden, $70 games is too expensive. I thought you guys supported the devs.
Well, I like to support the next big, crazy, story-focused games, but I definitely understand these people. And I feel bad for the fact that there are definitely going to be at least a couple people out there that are dead broke.
It's not about being broke. It's the fact that they see no interest in upgrading. They see no interest of the appeal of what these consoles are offering. That has a lot to do with it. $500 is not that much money, guys. I mean, let's stop lying to ourselves. Matter of fact, I'm telling you, people spend more money on a free-to-play than if they just bought themselves a collection of video games.
Their favorite game is now being deactivated on the console. And a lot of people, though, seem to be happy about this because the other side of the coin is that current era game development takes so ridiculously long. Like, consider the fact that why have we not gotten a generation? I mean, the main excuse is the fact that, honestly, it takes 5, 6, 7 years to make one game, right? One game from scratch takes a half decade.
And then you wonder as to why people are quitting the hobby. Listen, man, we only getting older, bro. And what's even more laughable is the fact that the game will take 5 to 7 years for them to make just to be disappointed, which is only going to make the consumer say, you know what? I'm tired of buying video games. I'm tired of paying $70 and $80 for a video game just to get my feelings hurt after I purchase it. You know what I mean? I mean, we have a serious problem here, folks. I mean, a lot of people don't want to be honest, but this might potentially be a gaming crash coming up.
So I have seen some people basically saying, thank God they're finally giving up on PlayStation 4. These developers can start work on the PlayStation 6. So
wow. You hear that, bro? We couldn't even use the power of the PlayStation 5, but instead we're going to be using the PlayStation 6 as the PS5. Like I said, you guys are just buying upgrades. This is no different than phones, bro. So now we're going to play PS5 level style of games on the PlayStation 6. But yet we couldn't get that on the PS5 because they kept with this cross-generation crap. That's what these companies are doing. They're not going to abandon anything. If anything, they're going to double down on it. Say, okay, we got PS5 level style of games on the PlayStation 6. I guarantee the PS5 is going to be carried all the way through the PlayStation 6 lifespan with the way they're going about these games. Because you know why? They don't want to abandon the audience of who picked up this hardware. And I guess with the PS4 coming out and the PS4, with the PS6 coming out and the PS4 being 12 years old, of course they're going to want to push this.
Get it? Hypothetically, in 2028 or 2029, it'll actually have some games, right? I still feel like all of this is so strange to me because the idea of the PlayStation 4 dying after selling 140 million consoles, I do think it shows the fact that honestly, the jump to next gen must be way bigger than we fathomed, right? I mean,
No, it's not, because they're just going to use the PS. Like I've said before, you guys are just buying Pro models. The PlayStation 6 ain't nothing but a PS5 Pro. You're going to be playing the same games. Instead, they're going to be playing PS5 games at 60 FPS while you guys play PS5 games at 30. That's what's going to happen. That's it. And they're going to carry the PS5 no different than they did with the PS4, and they're going to give you 60 FPS boost games, the PS5 level style of games. That's what's going to happen. Your consoles ain't no different than a phone.
They said the numbers is about 78 million now for the PlayStation 5. Clearly those people are buying a lot of games if these people are willing to make this jump and just...
What do you mean? How are they buying a lot of games? You said that people was playing free-to-plays to go as far to say, what do you mean? Genshin Impact you don't even have to pay for. What are you talking about, bro? You just sat there and said that free-to-plays is what's killing the market to go as far to say, oh yeah, people are buying the PS5 because they're buying new games. No, they're just playing the same games they were playing on PS4, but just with better performance.
Just straight up cut off last gen. Now I wanted to go over to Reddit and take a look at some of their reactions because the PlayStation 4 died, right? Maybe it's that I'm an old man and I still remember unboxing my PlayStation 4 on launch night and stuff. I still remember waiting in line at that midnight launch event and a terrible DJ was there just blasting the most awful music I've ever heard. But it is just weird to consider the fact that the PlayStation 4, 12 years later, still being here, still being supported in some sense, it's wild. I think I'm in a spot...
That's because PlayStation 5 ain't got no games.
Where I wish they would keep this stuff going forever. Like, how expensive can it really be to have the PlayStation storefront going, right? How expensive is it to keep the PlayStation Vita going?
See, this is where Microsoft single-handedly destroyed PlayStation in this regard, because what they're doing is they're taking it and introducing it through one ecosystem. Now are you starting to see the appeal of it? Now are you starting to understand what Microsoft vision is? They're introducing it through one ecosystem. Every PlayStation console that you buy is its separate ecosystem. PS3, PS4, and 5, I think is what they did, right? They try to connect it. But like you said, you're going to lose access to a lot of your stuff. So therefore, it's not similar. But I think they're starting to do it with the PS4 to 5, and then 5 and 6 is going to be very similar. Okay? Like, I mean, you even got 360 games still online, bro. This ain't no damn excuse. You got Microsoft out here supporting 360 games online, and yet PlayStation can't even support their own titles.
PlayStation 3 go, it's got to be cheap. This is sort of just my plea to the...
Because if the PS3 was a part of the same ecosystem, all these games that you see here would have already been transferred over. It's like with Nintendo. With the Wii to the Wii U, these were all separate ecosystems, and then you had the Wii U to Switch, separate ecosystems, and then you had Switch to Switch 2, which is the same ecosystem. Have you noticed that? All these companies are trying to push for this ecosystem so they can continue to maintain their catalog of games.
Guys, to the gaming gods, keep supporting this stuff. Please never deactivate my little Nintendo Switch Lite. Never deactivate my PlayStation 3. Never deactivate my PlayStation Vita.
Oh no, they're going to deactivate it. No different than they did the PSP and the PSP Go.
Never deactivate my PlayStation 4.
Oh, they going to deactivate it. And when they do, you're going to accept it and you're going to be happy.
Stopping support for new games, that makes sense. You can't make PlayStation 4 games forever. But please, don't just break the consoles. How do you feel about this?
Well, I thought PlayStation was all about physical media. Why would your console be a brick? Like, see that? So you just admitted that your console can only be used unless it's online. But yet you guys sit there and say, oh, it's an offline device, it's this, it's... Why are we even buying physical games at this point if this is the type of behavior that you guys are out here spewing in the community? Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, man, it was about due. Like I said, I think a lot of PlayStation 5 fans were tired of seeing PS4 titles. Well, guess what? You're going to be seeing PlayStation 5 titles being pushed with the PlayStation 6 with 60 FPS in mind. And that is exactly what's happening. You guys are buying next generation consoles and you're not even taking full advantage of it until the next console comes out. Do you understand how sad and pathetic that is? We had people defending that, talking about, oh, we have more games now. What do you mean more games now? Because when Tomb Raider came out on the PS1, it was pushing boundaries. When it came out on the PS2, it was pushing boundaries. Every game that was made for these consoles was pushing boundaries. Ain't nobody was picking up no GameCube to play Mario 64 again. Nobody was picking up a GameCube to play the same old games that the 64 had. No, we moved on to something that was bigger and greater. That's how console gaming was, which back then I would agree was better than what we're getting. But unfortunately, that's not what's happening. That's not what's happening. You guys are getting remasters, remakes. You guys are getting the same games, bro. The same games that have been available for over 30 years. Bro, at this point, gaming to me has become stagnant. If you have been gaming for as long as I have, you would be like, man, yeah, I would agree, GameStop. You know what I mean? It's nice to see these games here and there, but man, it's starting to overshadow a lot of the newer titles. You know? I mean, you even got Microsoft out here pushing Oblivion like as if it's a new game, but just throwing Unreal Engine 5 in it. I mean, at least they're doing a little bit more than most companies, but still, guys, if you played the game, you've already played it already. But hopefully, guys, enjoy this video. Like I said, man, at this point, I think a gaming crash will be coming up soon. Maybe not in the traditional sense, but expect more and more people to buy less and less video games. Take care.